All right, guys, so we have our Linux machine running. And like I said, if you check at the bottom, you'll notice that as I talk, kindly let's mute ourselves. If you're asking a question, kindly mute yourself. So today is going to be scripting. As I talk, if you check the bottom, you're going to notice it's transcribing what I say. Please, you can read it to flow if you can't hear me. All right, good. So having put all formalities together. So scripting. They are all, scripting is collection of instructions. So I will be covering this today. And depending on how fast we're able to understand these basics, we'll move to the next thing. So, but for now, this is what we're going to cover. All right. So now, the first question there is, what is scripting? Like I said to you, scripting, this is a set of instructions, or is a collection of instructions desired to perform a certain task. Collection of instruction used to perform a certain task. Do you understand? Set of instructions or collections of instructions used to perform a certain task. Why do we need scripting? We need scripting to automate redundant tasks. When I mean redundant, I mean repetitive task, boring task. I'm going to be more practical than more theory. So I'm just trying to lay the foundation for anybody that has lost it. Okay, so now it's very important for you to understand. One of the things that I will be doing is that I will be teaching you best practices. Best practices. In other words, this is what you are expected to know and how you're to do it in industries. When you get a job or when you work with an organization, this is the best way to do it. I can do something in a certain way and get a result, but is this the best way to do it? That's what I mean by best practice. Do you understand? So most of the things I will be doing, or most of the codes and the instructions I'll be giving you, I will be following best practices. All right, great. So having laid that foundation, I want you to understand, how do we create scripts? Before then, I want you to understand that we can write scripts. We can write scripts in different languages. Okay, let me open different notes parts I'll be writing for you all. So we can write scripts using different languages. Okay, now your scripts can be in Bash scripting. We have what we call Bash scripts, Bash scripting, okay, which will always end, the file will always end with .sc or .sh. Does that make sense? A Bash script file will always end with .sc or .sh. Take note of that. Another language we can use to write scripting is Python. Does that make sense to you? And Python files usually end with .py. Does that make sense? Okay. Please, if you understand, you use the comment section to type your message so that I will be sure you all understanding. And if you have difficulties comprehending, I will repeat myself. Another popular language we can use for scripting is called JavaScript. Although, like I said, there are so many languages we can use for scripting. JavaScript ends with .js mostly. Okay. All right. So, but we will not be focusing on this popular three. Okay. You can even use Ruby. That's one called Ruby. Okay, but our focus is on Bash scripting. Okay. Now, like I said to you all, you need to be sure Bash is actually the name of the interpreter in this case. Okay. Every time you log into a Linux computer, you are going to access the platform on an interpreter that interprets every instruction you type. For instance, if I type Solomon is a Christian and I hit enter, what did you see there? Solomon command not found. Why did it say Solomon cannot be found? What is telling us Solomon cannot be found? It's the interpreter. There is an interpreter that is reading those instructions and is telling us right now that this command cannot be found. So the bash interpreter is telling us that this command cannot be found. Okay, so, or the bash shell, as is popularly called. Okay, Noble is asking, is bash the best, sir? Okay, in a Linux world, in a DevOps world, or especially when you are talking to Linux computers, we use bash. Okay, if you are, okay, oh my God. All right, guys, I need to say something very quick. For some reason, this meeting will end in 10 minutes. Okay, let's say. If you're using the free version of what is it called, Zoom, they usually reduce the time we can use it for free, except we have a paid version. So from time to time, we may just be going in and out. So please, I will, once it goes off, I will restart the link again. You join with the same link, okay? You should join with the same link. I'm going to share the link again for anybody that doesn't have it. So give me a few minutes so I can get the meeting link so you can join. So I just dropped it. So please join with the same meeting link, okay? If it goes off, I will start it again so we can join. All right, so if you are talking to Linux computers, okay, because the environment where we are writing our script is Linux, okay, so the Linux interpreter will understand bash, okay. So if we're using a Python script, it's going to be running on a Python interpreter, although most interpreters can understand both Python, JavaScript, and what is it called, bash, okay, but there's some underlying programs behind the scene that helps it to interpret it, okay. So that's it. Now let's progress. Now, if you want to know the shells available on your computer, you should visit a location on your computer. First of all, what's the current shell this computer is using? If you check echo, you just need to type this command. I'm going to explain what this means as we progress. Once I type this, did you see /bin/bash? Okay, that tells you that this computer is currently using bash as the interpreter. And like I said, there are so many other interpreters that can be used, okay? And if you want to find the location, so let's copy this. I'll just call this our notes. So interpreter. So to know your interpreter, this is what you type. To know the location of your interpreter, this is where to find your interpreter on your PC, etc shells. So let's check it. In the last class, we've been able to explain what the cat command will do. Cat will be able to read a file. So this is a location on your computer. So that's why we're doing this. So if you come here, did you notice when I hit enter, valid login shells. So these are all the shells on this computer now. So there's another one called Tish and Kush. That's TSH and what is it called, KSH. If I need it now, all I need to do is I will do apt install tish-y. Okay, sudo. It needs me to become the root user. Okay, sudo apt update. Okay.
Sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
This command cat space slash etc slash this thing shells. Is it can it work maybe if you are using Windows?
No.
Okay, only in Linux.
Yes.
But now my question is this now. I'm using bash directly from EC2. That is this thing I created. But though I linked it directly, I linked it with this thing directly to what am I saying? I linked it directly to with command prompt, which I'm now using the normal EC2 user.
If you, I think I understand what you're saying. If you opened your command prompt, which is CMD, something like this, your command prompt terminal, and you run your SSH command, so you have already switched into the Amazon server. Once you switch into the Amazon server, you're in a different environment completely. You're no longer on your Windows.
Yes.
So then the shell should be able to work. So
it's not working.
If you want, what command did you run? Did you run this echo $shell? You do this.
No. The command I ran is cat slash etc slash shells.
Did you notice there's a space here?
Yeah, I did it.
Paste your command on the terminal, on the comment section, and we'll be able to check it. All right. So while this download is taking time, I really don't know why it's taking time. So, but all right. So one of the things we're going to do is to understand how we can be able to create our script. Now, there are 3 ways we can create scripts on Linux, right? It could not really 3 ways, okay? There are several ways we can create a script file, and there are several ways we can execute the script file, okay? There are different ways we can create the script file, and there are several ways we can read the script file or execute the script file. So for some reason, my terminal is frozen at this point. Can you guys still hear me? Please, you can use the comment to let me know if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. So I am going to just terminate this downloads with Control-C, or I just use Control-Z. Okay, or it's already done. So let's see if I run the previous command. I'm not sure that command ran, that installation did not complete. So because the installation did not complete, that's why we're able to see the shell. So once the shell, so this is where all the shells you install, this is where it's located. Now, one of the things I want you to know in Linux is that every command you type is a binary, is an application. Everything you type, if I type IP A and it shows me the IP, that IP you see there, it's a command. So if I imagine I change it and I say Noble A, it doesn't know what Noble is because it can't find Noble. Do you understand? So if I type where is IP, what did you see there? Did you notice it tells you IP is located here? So it shows you all the location where you can find The most important one is here. This is the user where that binary is located, the application, this is where it's located. Do you understand? For instance, if I want to know if an application is on a command or an application is on a system, you need to know where it's stored. For instance, git bash, for instance, I want to know if git is on this PC. I'm going to type where is git and hit enter. What did you see there? It tells you where git is. Okay, 3 is a command, right? What did you see here? 3 cannot be found. Let's type where is 3. What did you see here? It's in a mount point somewhere.com. It's not on this PC. This is not on this PC. That's why you can see this. This is where you can download it if you want to. That's what it's trying to say. So it's not on this PC currently. Does that make any sense? So I want you to always know this. This is one of the basic things you should understand as we progress. Okay.